Hello everyone, and welcome to my Raider Settlement build number 3. So we're over here at County Crossing, which is a settlement. It's pretty easy to pick up. Yeah, County Crossing, it's right underneath the National Guard depot on the east side of the map. And what we're going to be doing here today is we're going to be making where we're going to separate our settlers between guard settlers and worker settlers. It's pretty cool, and I don't know, I had fun building it, so just come check it out. It's pretty cool. Okay, this build is a little strange because basically what we're going to be doing is we're just going to be building a big square around the growable field over here in County Crossing. I don't really have anything for you to line it up to this time, but it's not really that big of a deal. What I really ended up doing was putting a whole bunch, seeing if it works, move the first one, and then doing it again and again, and that's basically how I got the initial shape. But since we already have where we want it, I'm just going to go through the motions of assembling the shape. So if you want to mirror it, that's all you have to do, and then you can mirror both the panels. That keeps everything symmetrical. Shit. Sorry about that. Yeah. Okay. And basically what we're trying to do is we're going to be making 2 tunnels. One tunnel goes to the growers, and one tunnel will go up top to the supervisors. Let's call them supervisors. Yeah, we're going to call them supervisors. Okay. And so basically what I want to do, it's not that, is I'm just going to be building the wall out all the way back. And I have tested, these walls actually do give ballistic protection. It's strange, but it does. Hey, come over here. As you can see, we already had the setups. Sure. What I was doing, oh shit. Oh. What I was doing was I was trying to test the system to see if it worked. So if you had watched the last episode of Manny of the Waste that just came out, or it might come out today, these two guys are actually father and son. How crazy that sounds. Oh, come on. Okay, yeah, see, it was one of those times where the panel has to get swapped around. Not even much of a difference in it, but okay, so you guys can kind of see where we're going with this. So I'm going to go on ahead and make the square, and then I will be back. Okay, so now we got a perimeter fencing to go ahead and keep our workers working. I wasn't really too happy with the gaps that it created underneath it, so I went on ahead and added some floor panels like here and there, just basically wherever they would fit. And then I would put like furniture and things like that on these. I also had their beds lined up over here. That's why you guys saw me moving the wall back just a little bit. And so anyways, I'm gonna go on ahead and I'm gonna put these out because they work pretty much where I need them to work. And all we really want to do is just keep our settlers from tunneling out of our forced labor camp, because that's bad. Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Okay, so now that this is taken care of, I might actually be cutting the fat on some of this stuff. In fact, I don't even like this side over here. That's why it's so hard to build things twice. Because the first time you build it, it's perfect, and then each time you build it afterwards, you try to repeat perfection. And that doesn't always work too well, obviously. Oh, come on. We raiders, we get down like that. Excuse me. Okay, so now I want to get started on the upper balcony area of the build. Just trim the fat. Just trim the fat. Okay, so as you can see, I have elongated the tunnels. And what I'm planning on doing is putting the settlement relay beacon out here and trying to get the settlers to converge into an open space over here. That way when they get here, you can run them through intake and then decide where you want them. Okay, so now that we have this, needs hiding for. Now I want to go on ahead and get the pathways, because how the structure works is that we keep the guards busy with guard duty so they don't interact with the settlers down there. And what ends up happening is it creates a real creepy atmosphere of like forced labor, where the guys at the top, they're kind of like, we don't get no fun, we're just hanging out, while the guys at the bottom, they're like enjoying it, but at the same time they're like seriously working all the time. So yeah, and I've tested it and all that good stuff. It works, it's pathable. Let me move this over like that. Yeah, that's good. And the final build's probably going to look a lot different than this. Not by much. When I do this, I do like an outline build of it, because, I mean, your build won't come out like this unless you do the exact same spacing and positioning that I did. And, I mean, it's just impossible. That's why I tend not to strive on making the same thing twice, but, you know, making small improvements as I go. And if this one turns out nicer than the last one, then I would just, you know, scrap it and fix it over again for the final project. But that doesn't seem to happen too often. What happens more than often is that it doesn't want to snap the second time, so we look like the fool. Alright, and as you can see here, I got just some panels out. We're going to do something really, really cool with those. Really cool. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and even this out some, and then we will be back. So now we want to go ahead and get our guard posts set up. They kind of work double duty in this build. They start off by just giving you, you know, that 2 defense or whatever, which is kind of worthless, but more importantly what it does is it keeps, yeah, you see him, He was standing over here, but immediately as the guard posters got down, he came back and did his job. I'm sorry, I'm sick, guys. If you hear me sniffling in the background, Snuggle Bear's got me sick, busted. But anyways, the guard posts keep them busy, which in turn keeps them out of the other half of the settlement. There are other ways to do it too. I'm actually exploring those now because I found that by micromanaging the settlers, I can get more from them and make an I wouldn't say a better community, but like a cleaner working community. Yeah, I've tried these two. They work. The pathing is adequate. And then you just want to come and put, honestly, as many as you want, but a lot. Because what happens is they start bouncing between the three of them. But if you put, and I know it's overkill and there's no point to it, but honestly, this whole build is kind of overkill and no point to it. It's just aesthetics. Because I don't think that the settlement would fare too well if it had got attacked. But you know, that wasn't the point of this build. These raider settlement builds are really just for the aesthetics of saying, hey, you know, I got a raider settlement. I'm a raider. Or at least trying to be one. And hey man, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that in the least bit. Awesome. And as you guys can see, it's starting to look pretty ominous out here. Okay, so now that we have these set up, I need to go on ahead and add a few more aesthetic touches. Namely, I need to get my spotlights on deck, because those really help out with the build and make it look pretty cool. Also, we need to go on ahead and get our beds taken care of. I'm probably going to use that area over there, and then an area right here for the beds. Like I said, it's not a really complicated project. What gets complicated is when you're assigning the settlers. And I'm probably going to make a separate video about that, because it's not hard or anything. It's just you have to do it a certain way. Otherwise, you just have to redo it over and over again. Okay, so I'm going to get started. That there's a slight problem with the settlement. The only thing is that for some reason settlers reset themselves when time passes. So what you have to do is you have to open up a wall segment every now and again just to get them to do their thizzle. And then once they're done, you can just put the wall back like that. And then they all go back to doing whatever it is they were supposed to be doing. Which is fine. It breaks immersion slightly, but I'm not too concerned about it. So we're looking pretty good out here, man. Pretty good indeed. We did it, guys. World first. So we got the cool raider settlement. We got our raiders keeping an eye on our settlers. You look awesome, man. Got the settlers down there working hard, but at least, you know, they got some protection going on out here. And basically all we had to do to get this set up was manage our settlers by giving them a job and B, a bed. And because they have their beds right here, and their job's right there. They don't move and they don't interact with the other settlers. So anyways, thanks for watching Raider Build Part 3. Like, share, subscribe. Stay tuned for more Fallout 4 vids. This has been Manny of the Waste signing out. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care.